Hey man, did you see? Did you see did you see, the crazy the crazy post by Adidas? It's Adidas was out here basically roasting KD, saying basically they said he's bust up, rusty, about to retire only because he refused to wear a shoe.
Well, it's not only that though. The way he said it, because
Oh yeah,
was it Edwards, right? Anthony Edwards
yeah,
was
yeah.
saying he would want KD to wear the shoes, and KD said, I forgot how he said it, but like those dusty shoes, I don't want to wear. Some.
I'm
I'm never gonna
I'm
put my.
not gonna put my big toe in these MFers. I guess they took that the wrong way.
But then the Adidas had they put they said that you're dusty, and then remove the comment, right?
So what Adidas did was they first of all went back to oh now it doesn't work. Now the link doesn't work. Anyway, hey, let's start the show, man. Let's
Yeah.
start
Okay.
the show.
Let's go. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Double Touch Show. Before we proceed, if you haven't done so already, remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell as well, so you can stay up to date. Share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. Engage with us, like it or dislike it. Doesn't matter. The engagement is still engagement. And don't forget to share your thoughts and opinions with us. Remember, we're not right all the time. We're not wrong all the time. This is just our opinion, and you are free to express yours because this is an open platform. We're going to talk about Jeannie Mai, in essence, declaring war, or at least confirming that there is a war between Jeezy, because Jeannie Mai has replied to the initial filings of Jeezy.
Yep.
And we're also going to talk about Jonathan Majors. His trial has begun. And yeah, we heard at the beginning, it was said that he assaulted the girlfriend, and afterwards it was revealed that the woman, the girlfriend, or probably former girlfriend, assaulted him. But still, there is an ongoing trial, so we're going to talk about that as well. And maybe if we have some time we left, we can talk about a crazy story of basically a teenage girl being in a 21 and up party, and and being approached by men who don't know it. What can happen? What are the consequences? And no, we're not talking about the Josh Giddy story. We already talked about that on the other
Mo-
channel, X Game
Monday.
Plan, on Monday. Go check it out. But yeah, I mean, it seems like it's a story that happens. It's more common than we think. So depending on how much time we have, we might talk about it as well. Of course, we're talking about the story of Gloria Velez. With that being said, let's start with the first topic. Jeannie Mai, KR. No, something's wrong on your end, I think. Oh no, no, something's wrong on my end. Yeah. KR. Let's start with the Diddy or the Jeannie Mai. Diddy was was Monday's show, of course. Jeannie Mai, Jeezy.
Yeah.
Jeannie
Jesus.
Mai responded.
Yeah, man. It's starting to get messy. You know? One thing we talked about in previous show, we talked about how it seems like they are handling this situation like adults, separating from each other, which is good, which will be good for the kid at the end because the kid will have still their both their parents like not trying to trash each other.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
what we said.
that's what we said. Yeah, that's how we were trying to. We were basically saying yes, it's going good. It's they are trying to solve this as separate as grown-ups and then go their own way without because at the end you have to deal with each other because one is the mom, one is the dad, and you have to have visitation rights and all that stuff. But seems like that wasn't the plan of Jeannie.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. Jeannie just filed a, I don't know how they call it in legal terms, but a response,
Yeah, respond.
just a response to the initial filing, where in which she basically said that Jeezy cheated, and because there is a part in their prenup that says that cheating is not allowed with a third party or whatever, the hammer will be going down. So
Well,
it will be a problem for Jeezy.
yeah.
That's
If
what the lawyer is pointing out, right?
yeah, and that's if it's true because because I read that story as well,
Mm.
and
You mean if it's true?
if the cheating is true,
Oh
that's what
yeah,
I'm
okay,
saying.
yeah.
Because I don't know, we talked about it a couple of shows back. The interview or the talk between Jeezy and Nia Long and how Jeezy reacted when Nia Long said all men cheat, and Jeezy was like, wait, hold up. I don't agree with that. And I'm paraphrasing, of course.
Black
I'm
man
not.
don't cheat, man. What are you talking about?
And he was talking about no, men don't cheat, men don't cheat, real men don't cheat, and now this happens. And I remember when he made that comment, people were he caught a lot of flack as well because people were saying, "Yeah, Jeezy, what are you trying to do? Are you?"
Wait, it seems so surprised. Like
Yeah, wait, I don't agree with that. Like,
what?
and again, I don't remember the exact words, but it was clear like,
He became a
um,
meme.
yeah, because he said, and his point was, a man who is who has integrity does not break promises, and by cheating
Yeah.
you're breaking promises.
And
Now
makes sense.
maybe what she's talking about is, yeah, we don't know. Okay,
We
because
don't
now
know.
of course my imagination is all over the place now. So I'm thinking maybe he did something after they separated but they were never really divorced. Who knows?
This is the lawyer talking right here because this is the lawyer angle, right?
Yeah, so that's the
It makes
question.
sense. It makes sense.
And there's another issue as well. And again, I am a lawyer. I'm not a US lawyer, and I am not versed in or well versed in
U.S.
US law. I think this is playing out in Georgia,
Mm.
Atlanta. I'm not sure. I think it's
Oh,
Atlanta, but it is in Georgia. And I don't know what the exact rules are there, but I do know that if you have a prenup, they signed a prenup, but the
yeah.
prenup was signed one day before they got married or shortly before.
Yeah, that was one day, but apparently it was dated on the same day. I don't know how they did it, but it's the stories are becoming even crazier.
Yeah. And in any case, I know that lawyers generally say, and TLA, the lead attorney, shout out to the lead attorney, he also talked about this, saying he always stresses 6 months or
What?
more.
Come on, man. But the thing
I
is,
mean,
and
if
I
you want it to be
do,
valid, it needs to be 6 months or more. That's the only thing I'm saying.
yes, no, I do agree with you and with TLA. What I'm trying to say is that it baffles me that you would ask to sign it a day or a week before. Doesn't matter if as soon as you reach the month, it's done. In my opinion, because then you don't take me seriously as a man. I'm trying to
What do
build
you?
something. So the signing of the prenup
But what do you mean a month?
a month before the wedding. So already, if you pass the month before the wedding, then you have to blow it off. You gotta cancel everything because
Yeah,
you already, so already 6 months is the best, but a month is already kind of pressuring, right? It's
yeah.
so you can
But a
you
month, but a month is already late. It needs to be
yeah, and then,
6 months. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. Okay,
it needs
maybe
to be.
okay. That's
You mean
annoying.
if you want to be clear? So actually, and a lot of people
And,
don't do it like that, and then
yeah.
understand why. But I understand why. But
Say why? Are they
The
scared?
I don't think it's scared. I think it's a matter of priority because when people plan marriage, they think of the party, they think of the wedding, they don't think of the marriage
Yeah, and
and the
then they
party.
plan.
And what's a contract, quote unquote, the prenup? What's a contract compared to the color, the theme, the all those things? And then that's the reason why it gets less priority. But people get married out of love. We get married out of love. Who's we? Yo, this is gonna be a for those of you who don't get it. Every time I say we do something or something is for
I'm
us,
pretty sure. I'm pretty
KR
sure.
KR asks, KR looks at me like, who's we? Don't include me.
Pretty that maybe she should cut this as a short because I think I was looking. I was looking down and then I saw weird. I was like, "What?"
Wait,
So cut it as a short.
yeah, let's ask her. Let's ask her to cut it.
Oh,
But the there's a way to mark it, right? Anyways, the so actually it needs to be. So no, so that's what I was saying. A lot of times they think of the party and they don't think of what needs to be done before that. And people get married for love and they divorce. So when they get married, they think of the party, and when they divorce, then they think of the money. When they're getting married, money can flow out.
yes, but
Money can flow out, and then when they divorce, then money needs to flow in. It's like it
it's mind
baffles me.
boggling. If it baffles me, and you're right because people think a lot about the wedding. They don't think about the before and after the wedding. The preparation, maybe a couple of things, but after what happens after? It's like if I would take the a small analogy, it's like you're going to merge two companies and you focus on the day the company merges, but you don't try to align values, contracts together, the agreements, everything. It's like you're gonna the initiation part, the day you merge, you make sure that party is all right, but after, who cares?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah, but
crazy. I mean,
but it happens a lot, and
yeah,
it's
love.
it's it's logically it's crazy, but so irrational. Actually, what you have to do is, um, well, have to is a big word, but maybe before the ring,
Which ring?
the wedding ring.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah. Before the ring, you should sign. You should sign to agree that you will give the
Yeah.
ring back after you divorce. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I did. That's a good one as well, actually. Well, you can actually put that in as well because yeah. Anyway, that's another conversation. I've heard it. I've heard arguments for both ways.
Oh,
In any case, yeah, let's see. But Jeannie Mai is accusing Jeezy of not being that um
that dude.
not that dude necessarily, but not being that uh how do you say that? That good.
Faithful.
That not faithful, a good. Seems like he she's accusing him of maybe being a hypocrite,
Yeah, it seems like
going and saying, "Hey, man, don't cheat," and then you do cheat. So maybe he's calling texting with another girl cheating. What is cheating? So that can be another.
well, technically they are quoting in the response, they are quoting the following. Let me see if I can find it real quick. They are quoting the court should enforce paragraph 8 of the prenuptial agreement regarding infidelity, which provides a pertinent part that the event that either party engages in sexual relations, an emotional relation, or an emotional or sexual suggestive in communication with a third party via all forms of electronic communication, including but not limited to texting, sexting, FaceTiming, social media, and or direct messages, shall result in a significant financial penalty upon the adulterous party.
So sexting and communication, that's considered flirting already. Let's say. So that's
flirting, and that should
that's
result in a
and a
hefty
fine.
penalty.
And what's the penalty?
They put dot 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 after, so I have to we have to dive a bit deeper to
Okay.
do a deeper look into this, but they put a dot dot dot, so I don't know the financial penalty. So it seems like maybe your angle is correct. Maybe they separated, and now Jesus trying to continue his life, and she said, yeah, but we're still married, so that's adultery.
Imagine if the woman is Nia Long. Huh? Imagine that she's if she's imagine that imagine that, Kier.
That
Imagine
would be
that she's
crazy.
using the interview with Nia Long. I mean, I'm just being silly right now. But
That
yeah,
would be crazy.
let's see what will happen.
By the way, the mud throwing is happening all over the place now, right?
The what?
Throwing the mud, but because according to Hollywood Unlocked, shout out to Hollywood Unlocked, Jesus reportedly accuses Jeannie Mai of being a gatekeeper when it comes to him spending time with their daughter.
That happens a lot, though.
Yes, but I mean that it's really starting to. I mean the
Yeah. Oh
what,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what I'm
It's
trying to
turning
make,
in.
it's turning into a battle.
Yeah, a traditional divorce battle, your stereotypical divorce battle. Woman, so mother has child, mother tries to exert control over husband through child. Mother is accusing husband of infidelity. Husband is accusing mother of um, trying to intervene between the relationship of the father and the daughter, and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
this is going to be a traditional battle, it seems, and it was just a matter of time. At the beginning, it was really calm before the storm. The thing is, however, when you litigate, and in divorce cases you have to litigate, then you go to lawyers, and sometimes my clients, for example, again, I'm not a U.S. lawyer, but I am an attorney. I am a lawyer. I do practice, and sometimes clients are afraid to or at least don't want you to use certain words. They find that the way you write is too aggressive or too straight to the point, or it can be interpreted in in a bad way. However, when you're communicating in court, you need to be as clear as possible, as direct as possible, and as you're in battle. It's a court battle, and there's a lot at stake. We're talking about kids, right? The or at least the kid has the right to a healthy relationship with both mom and dad. But that's one kind of battle that will go on. There's another battle that will go on, which is the monetary. Of course, that's going to be the one that will that's the main one, as always, because it's always about the money. And of course, if I have the kids, you need to pay me. So it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle, and what we thought initially, which is that they will settle and do it quietly, like Tom Brady and Giselle Bundchen did. Well, we were wrong on that. And here on the Double Touch Show, we have the humility to admit that we're wrong when we're wrong, but don't apologize if we're not wrong. Yes.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
That's what we do over here. Double champ. Hey, talking about being clear in court. Jonathan Majors trial begins. Already it's becoming it with like you opened up and talked about the whole thing being a back and forth between the two. Jabari, I think her name is Jabari, Grace Jabari, and Jonathan Majors. It was first of all, it was said that Jonathan Major basically John Wicked her, and then oh
I,
man, I tried to.
I think you meant Eichter.
Well, I wanted to say Nardowicht, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So according to the story, the Jonathan, Jonathan Eichter, and what happened was it was clear according to how the story's been told and the leaks that have been in the media. It showed that it's actually the opposite. And what happened early in October is that the police, help, police, help. That was Jonathan Majors actually yelling out. And so the police helps him and arrest Grace for the assault on him. Well, she got arrested. But then the prosecutor said, you know what? I'm not going to prosecute you. I'm going to continue down the path I'm already in till the end of the road. And here we are. And one thing they talked about already in the first week is the ability to talk about that arrest. Of course, that's important.
Yeah.
It's very important because if you can talk about it, you can counter what has been stated. Because at the end, you won't get arrested for no reason. You can point out, maybe you can say more about this, RJ. You can point out as a lawyer that even though the prosecutor said they will not prosecute them, that it's a targeted prosecution of a man who was basically trying to run away from the girl. And instead of the other way, he was defending himself, Karate Kid style.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more. I mean, you can argue anything, right, in court. It's whether the judge
Well, you can argue anything. Not anything can fly into court and
that
win.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So you can argue anything, you can claim anything, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be valid. What we do know in this case is that Jonathan Majors was the one who called the police, and we know that the police came and the police detained him. They detained him. It's,
Bro, imagine someone robs you and then they arrest him.
it's like the it's like the Dave Chappelle skit, right? Where you call the police, he calls the police, and the police comes. He's still here. He's still here, Johnson. Plop.
He hung up on the bitches.
Oh man, it's so it's
Oh man, this is crazy. Yo.
yeah. So it's he called that. So those are the facts. So this is what we know. He called. The police came and they arrested him. And when he got arrested, the his reputation the in Hollywood,
His
yeah,
career.
his career has been placed in jeopardy. So much so that he's running a big risk of losing certain roles.
His
One of the
biggest
one
role.
of the biggest, or one of the, I don't know if Creed role. Creed role is a big one, but I think
His
you're right.
bigger. To
You're right.
can
You're
is
right.
bigger.
Yeah, yeah. To be can in to be can in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the
Multiple movie
MCU.
series.
Yeah, low. Yeah, so the MCU. Then it's it's
Mhm.
very the consequences are very big, and what he said at the beginning apparently seemed to have had a certain level of truth to it, because he was saying from the get-go that he's the victim, and a month or two after, or maybe a bit longer, the ex is now ex-girlfriend was the one who got detained as well. And there seems to be indications that the police helped her to file the complaint against Jonathan Major. So you can make this up,
This is
but I,
crazy.
I really hope that. And we thought that um, the happy place that is not doing well and is putting out trash movies out there. with the mouse as its mascot would learn from the Johnny Depp fiasco, not condemning uh, someone before that person has had his time, his or her time to defend him or herself. Unfortunately, I am afraid that company will do the same. That production company will make the same mistakes, because what we know is that they have implemented a policy. We haven't read the policy yet, but we can. You say you can judge the you can judge a tree by its fruits, right? So in this case, we haven't read the policy of that movie company, but we have seen its fruits. And based on the quality of the type of movies they have produced the last 2 or 3 years, we have concluded that the policy of the movie of that company is to make decisions that will make it tank as fast as possible. So that being said, they will probably
Yeah. I used to be an investor in them.
used to.
Used to, yeah. I sold everything when after the launch of it peaked when they released the Plus platform,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
and then I was like, you know what, I'm good.
It's a good time to get up. Oh man.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
but they basically right now the way they wrote the king the king storyline,
Khan,
they have basic Khan, sorry, yeah, Khan, sorry.
you're talking about last show, man. You're thinking of last show when we talked about Ti son.
Ti son. Why did I say king? Anyway, so the way they wrote it is right now it's in a they can go both ways, right? They basically wrote them off the script, but the way he was removed, he can also be placed in. So they leave it open to see what happens here, and maybe this will relaunch his career when he no if when he gets found not guilty,
Yeah.
because I think it's clear. I mean, even Stevie Wonder could see that this is a weird prosecution. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, it really does seem like a manhunt. But what I think that will happen, if he turns out to be innocent, and from what it seems, I think there's a high probability that he will not be found guilty. He can or might be able to sue Disney. However, there might be a clause, or
He
at least
doesn't
there.
want to do that though.
Disney, and there might be
No, but even if he does as an actor, he cannot work ever again.
if he does it, you mean?
Yeah.
Because what I was about to say is, so what I was gonna say is that there's probably a clause in the contract that states that the company has the right to
Terminate.
take a step back and terminate the agreement if something like this happens, even if there's an allegation. And I can, to a certain extent, I can understand it as well, because it is a at least originally it focused more on children movies, and they have gradually went on to expand that platform into they started with the Pirates, and then Harry Potter, and then all those fantasy movies, and then transition to
Wars.
the Star Wars, and then so they are a big platform. And
Yeah, I don't
but
think
I
so.
can and they don't want to take a risk, so it wouldn't surprise me if they have like a a clause like that in an agreement, and even maybe with a payment, with a compensation, that if it happens and we pull back, you still get something. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
A cat
uh,
package.
a care package, yeah. But of course, what it would be better to, I think, to not do so, because he is a great con. He plays the role. Yeah, he plays the role extremely well,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be a shame to move away from him and go. Now we need to wait. Now I have to say one thing in there. If there's a time to make the change now, Disney and Jonathan, sorry, I have to say, I'm not saying that I want you to stay, Jonathan. Just to be clear. I want you to stay. But if there's a time for Disney to make that change, is now. Because after the latest Marvel's movie that plummeted and it was the worst one, I think now is when you make the move now, no one will see it. So now will be the perfect time to make that change. If Disney were to move on, move away from Jonathan Majors. However, I hope they seriously consider not doing so, because I think they will do the fans a huge um they will they disservice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, I think. Yeah, I do agree. I don't think he should actually sue them after, because it will influence the rest of his career. Won't have a chance to do any movies in. I mean, whether you like it or not, Disney has a quite a big range of types of movies they create, from family
Definitely.
movies to fantasy stuff and all that stuff. So if he sues, I'm pretty sure he will be on the no hire list for
Yeah.
the rest of his life
Yeah. Yeah.
and after that. Anyway, um, and of course he will have no one to sue actually, because I don't think Jabari has even the funds to compensate him. So he's on his own. All we can do is wish him luck.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs the luck, as we usually say, but
No, I hope he lands on his feet, and I think he's already walking with luck around his arms. Shout out to Megan Good. Let's continue.
Jin Deal, man. Jin Deal. Jin Deal is out here telling. We talked about Jin Deal on Monday. It's Diddy stories. He's a former Diddy bodyguard, so he has been in the mix. One thing I always think is weird is that they offer NDAs to the girls. They offer NDAs to everyone. I've never. These bodyguards are now here sitting and talking, telling all the stories. Why doesn't the bodyguard sign an NDA, RJ?
I well, I don't know if they didn't sign an NDA actually, but I think that the NDA, the signing of NDAs are a thing of the current times,
Mm.
because of what has transpired throughout the last 10 to 15 years. I was born in the 90s,
Oh,
but
you look like
I heard stories of the 80s. And the 80s, I have the impression that the 80s were a wild time. And so, the 80s, 90s, I don't think so. The 80s and the 90s, I think that the early 90s, especially, these things weren't the things that we're condemning now were not as clear to the public. And I think as well we need to thank, to a certain extent, social media, because social media has created a possibility where information can be shared. Information, someone that knows something can just say it. The person doesn't need to go to a TV station, because imagine if let's say, I mean, for some people they can imagine it, but if we were living in the past, we were just lucky enough to experience a childhood without smartphones, and learn to use it, I think, in our teens, etc. So we have that going for us, so we know we can talk a little bit of both experiences. And in those times, without TV, etc., the only way that a Gene Deal could get an information, but it goes for Gene Deal, it goes for Joe Smith's wife, who's hoeing. Oh, sorry, who's my bad. Uh,
yeah, yes. Who's sharing the
no, my
fruit
bad.
of her
I'm
labor?
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Didn't mean. I mean, I meant it, but I didn't want to say it. But and a
The
lot of
wife.
yeah, all the people who are doing shocking things for clout, etc. Those people were it. I mean, it all during those times, the only way that you could get a big audience was to go on
The
a,
idiot.
a late night, a radio, a radio station, so or the newspaper, and talk about it. But do you think that during those times when these things were happening, if you had went to the newspaper or the TV station or the radio station and told them what you were experiencing, do you think that they would have published it? No, because it's one group. But now with social media, anyone can go on any podcast and uh, talk their truths. So when they're talking their truths, then yeah, I mean this all comes to light, and Jeannie Deal is making the most out of the situation.
To summarize, back then you had gatekeepers. Now you don't have gatekeepers. I know you explain it for the people who are at the end of last show. We are now in a new show, RJ. You don't have to explain it to them anymore.
I understand that. The reason why I looked at you was because we talked about Diddy the last show, and I wasn't sure if you said gatekeeper, gate
Let's continue.
gatekeepers,
But
or
I like my life. People all seem to be scared of Diddy. People can talk about the
okay.
president.
Let me
People
just
can talk
let me just
about. Yo, wait a second. Let me finish this up. People can talk about presidents. People can talk about the biggest goons in the hood. Charleston White is out there dissing people from the O Block. And then as soon as you talk about Diddy, it seems like you're talking about the Grim Reaper. So let's not talk about Diddy.
let's let Jeannie talk about it.
That's not cheating.
Let Jean Deal talk about it.
Hey, shout out to Gene, man. Gene and Art of Dialogue. Guys, this interview is also on Art of Dialogue, but I'm not gonna show the interview itself. I'm gonna show a short that was on another platform that cuts everything out. So I'm gonna show it real quick. Fair use, and we're gonna talk about Gene Deal and Aaron Hall and how he met Gloria Velez.
Was Glory Velez. So we start talking about relationship and how older dudes always want younger girls and stuff like that. And she brought up Aaron Hall. So she said, for light of a better words, having sex with me, and I was just 16 years old.
I was actually in the studio when he recorded that.
You
We
are-
just started dating.
You are live.
Swear to God, 16.
It was
I said, where did he meet you at? And she said, we met at a club. When you supposed to be 21 years old in the club? And she said, yeah. I said, so when did he find out that you was 16 years old? She said, we was on the line at the airport in customs. He found that I was 16 years old. They wouldn't let me go to Jamaica with him. And I needed my parental consent in order to go to Jamaica. So I said, he think that you older than that. He just found out when y'all went to Jamaica? She said, yeah. I said, so how could you fault him? You in the club and it's 21 years. You understand what I'm saying? It was.
Yeah. So basically, Aaron was set up for fake. It's crazy. It's crazy if you think about it. And Gloria's now telling these stories, telling that Uncle Luke groomed her. Well, Uncle Luke went also on social media and said he wants the smoke. To summarize, I'm not gonna play the Uncle Luke one because that's a longer one. He basically said, as someone of his brand, because we all know Uncle Luke is more of the raunchy stuff, the old school raunchy stuff, talking about sex and all this, rapping about sex and being open about it. He said, if you know your brand, then you should be, if you know that's your brand, that means you have little margin of error when it comes to how people perceive you. So you have to be obviously the opposite. And he's basically saying that he has all the time and all the money to fight this in court. So be my guest. That's paraphrasing, of course, but he's saying, "Be my guest." So this is, I think we talked about it a little bit the previous show. One of the previous, no, it's the show, Josh Giddy show on Monday. We talked about this at the end, where basically you these stories come out. People tell stories and they don't tell the full story. RJ.
Yeah, and there's we talked about it. Everyone has, and as an attorney, when someone comes to me and tells me a story, I always, I always wait until I see the other side, hear the other side, because someone can tell you everything that's, that's in his favor or her favor, but they will twist what can be used against them against them. So with that being said, I think it's very what we see with the Gloria Velez story and stories like that. When you have like when you're in a club and it's a 21 and up and over club, an older club, and you see a woman, will automatically think that she's of age.
Not only that, she is well developed body wise, so you don't
Yeah,
assume.
yeah, because they're 16 and then they're 16. But the time we're living in now, it seems like even if the lady has wrinkles, it's best to just ask for the ID, because in the way criminal law works, if this becomes a criminal case, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But the way the law works is that, let's say you have, if you had, for example, an intimate moment with a minor, that in itself is bad and it's wrong, and you are, by definition, you did it. So if they establish that you did it, then you did it,
Yeah.
and that's a fact. And then you would have to prove
Oof.
that you still, it's like a well, it's just like self-defense. This is not self-defense, but you have to prove that that despite the fact that you did it, you should not be found guilty. Or if this is a civil lawsuit, it's probably a money grab. If this is a civil lawsuit, you will need to prove that the reason why you did it, or at least you can't be faulted for doing it, because anyone in that situation would have done it based on the information that they had at that moment. And so, but it's gonna be difficult. That's one thing. Now, what's not clear to me, and maybe this gets discussed, KR, maybe you can tell me, but maybe it doesn't. After he found out, did something happen? Or was it
Yeah, that's not clear to me as well. So that's something maybe I can research, but it's not clear to me. Probably he left her behind and never contacted her after.
Yeah.
And now, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to handle this case like any other, like a Josh Giddy case, for example. The scenario is different. Malika Andrews won't think so, but the scenario is different, and I think that
Wait a second. Is Aaron black? No, I'm just kidding.
yeah,
But Aaron is light skinned, so he might get a pass.
maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. Is Aaron light skinned? I'm just rambling right now. Aaron Hall. I don't know these old school. No, he's Aaron Hall? Is this Aaron Hall?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the dude who was talking crazy on Vlad.
Yeah.
Oh my God! No, then he's definitely not getting a pass. Aaron Hall was talking crazy on Vlad about everyone knowing the size, what size he's packing. Diddy even. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to listen to this interview anymore. Oh man, Aaron.
Yeah.
Damn, they're
So
trying to set you up, boy.
yeah. So Malika Andrews, if he was an athlete, Malika Andrews would have had a field day. Then again, Malika might find a way to fit him in the segment. I think
Did,
it's
did he run from the police? He's an athlete. Oh man, this
track
is
and field.
crazy.
No, but it's yeah. So I think that we
Run,
need to. I think that this situation shouldn't be treated like a Josh Gady one, like an R. Kelly one, because it's clear to me that this. Well, clear to me again. It's in a club setting at night.
but she's not suing though. She's talking right now.
I know that she's talking, but usually
Therefore,
this,
it could
but
become
usually, yeah, maybe this can become something. And that's why Aaron always like, "Yeah, listen, if this become like just an FI, if this becomes something, I'm willing to fight." Now, if I was his
that's
lawyer, I would
Uncle
have
Luke.
told him.
That's
If
Uncle
I
Luke.
was, yeah, if I if I was, yeah, yeah. So if I was his lawyer, I would have said, listen, you can say you're willing to fight it until the end, but don't say you have the money to fight it until the end.
Say you're broke.
I
My sugar mom is paying for my
I
lawyer.
I don't have money, but I'm willing to fight it until the end. But if you say I have the money to fight until the end, I mean you're basically confirming that you have the asset. So
Oh man, this is crazy. And the thing is, anyway, I'm gonna play the first part of the Uncle Luke response because the whole thing is it's like a joke actually. Fair use.
Just learn what the grooming mean. I don't even know what the fucking grooming mean. Grooming. Fuck is grooming. They had to explain that to me.
So while he's eating, he's trying to basically respond to these allegations.
I
Respond to
video everything. I video everything. Everybody sign releases. I do shows. Ain't no underage people be doing no show with me. I fire girls. You get caught. I have chaperone for the girls, a one head dancer. It's always one head dancer. And she put everybody in check. So you doing, this is not a traveling whorehouse. So you gonna mess around with these other artists, you're gonna get sent home, sweetheart. You get fired.
So he was running a tight ship. We'll see, man. It's crazy sometimes, right? People are trying to get some clout. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true, but it seems more times than often, people people sometimes accuse people of things to get some clout and also not only clout, also some extra clout to do interviews. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the girl who sued the Lizzo-sized girl who sued Usher?
I don't recall. No.
A good thing you don't recall. Let's. But that was unbelievable. But again, maybe Usher likes Lizzo-sized girls. I mean, it was like a triple lawsuit. There was a gay guy, an oversized girl, and a heterosexual girl that was suing him for I think giving them herpes or something like that.
And
Herpes.
this has nothing to do.
No, but what I was trying to say was sometimes people sue just for people to settle.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. But I mean, this has nothing to do with Dwight Howard, right?
Hey man, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. You're trying to take the show someplace else.
All right.
You're trying to take the show someplace else.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Whatever your thoughts are, let us know. Remember, this is a platform where we encourage dialogue. So feel free to leave your comment. Let us know what you think. If you agree, if you don't agree, please, if you do so, maybe motivate a bit. If you don't know how to, then just troll. It's okay. Remember to like the video, share it with your friends, your family, and your enemies. And of course, if you haven't done so, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Go check us out on our sports channel as well, X Game Plan. That's where we talk about trending sports topics. So yeah, feel free to go check it out. Maybe it's something for you. But in any case, we'll see each other in the next show. It's been a pleasure to serve you once more. And until next time, take care. Peace.
Peace. Uncle Luke said, I'm standing on business.
I got money.
I got, I'm wearing, my watch is filled.
Yeah.
Please don't come rob me, though.